Hey Rough and Tumblers, Father Mitch here. So I needed to make a quick video for distance learning student Paul, but I decided to make it public because I thought that it would be really beneficial to everyone. It's a little constitutional. What's a constitutional, you may ask? At Heritage Rough and Tumble, we use constitutionals to maintain our martial fitness. The constitutional is 7 exercises deep, and we usually do them roughly around 25 repetitions of each exercise. It usually takes us somewhere around 15 minutes, no more. Today's constitutional is going to be made up of the following 7 exercises. The first exercise is a simple sit-out. A sit-out is done when someone's behind you or beside you, sometimes from north and south, head-on position. It depends upon the particular situation, but it's a body mechanic you need to be familiar with. So, short sit-out, you're going to move your foot and your hand at the same time. So, you move your foot and your hand at the same time, and then you're going to lift and you're going to sit. When you sit on this side, you collapse, and then you roll over and you change direction. So, your first exercise in your constitutional would be 25 short sit-outs. Here and here. And then if you want, you can go back the other way. Here, here, and back. Okay? Your next exercise is a bridge and roll. When you bridge and roll, you don't roll like a log. No good. Have your heels tight to your body. You want to bridge. Look in the direction you're going. Bridge up. Reach over with the toe and into position. So from here, bridge up and over. Bridge and roll is used when you have someone on top and you're trying to bridge them off. Third exercise is a shrimp. Now when someone's on top, let's say that they're in top saddle, aka mount, then you would brace off the side, either off the knee or off the hip. You can teacup if you like. And then you shrimp, sneak your knee through the hole. If necessary, go to the other side, shrimp, and so on. So your third exercise would be 25 shrimps, 1, 2, 3, etc. Now, if you're an experienced rough and tumbler, then you already know all these things. But maybe you need to stay fresh between sparring sessions or something, and these are some of the key techniques that you might need if you were really wrestling. So you might find it helpful in combination with other forms of solo training, obviously, to keep yourself in fighting trim. Beginners can begin to use constitutionals like this to build their wrestling acumen at home training solo. Either way, these are fundamentals, and everyone knows, or should know by now, that there's really no such thing as advanced martial arts. Advanced martial arts are basic techniques done flawlessly. Now, for the next set of exercises, you're going to need a floor bag, which is nothing more than a heavy bag with the chains taped up. By the way, if you're enjoying this video, please like, share, and subscribe, and check out our free programs at heritageartsinc.com. We are a 501c3 federally recognized educational charity. Now your next exercise is a simple squeeze. I want you to squeeze in square choke position. So in other words, I want your forearm perpendicular to the bag. I want your thumb down, and I want this squeezing hand to be palm up in a nice gable grip You can see that. And then I want you to squeeze. And then you'll squeeze as hard as you can, pinching your elbows together. Don't squeeze with just the hands. Squeeze the elbows together. Pull, pull, pull. And then I want you to squeeze as hard as you can until you gas. When you gas out, then switch. Again, this is a thumbless grip. And then squeeze, pinch elbows and squeeze to the other side. And then squeeze until, like once again, until failure. Okay? Now, the next exercise I want you to do is a bottom scissors. So, you want to get your legs around the lowest rib of your opponent. And then this would be if he was in your bottom scissors. You want to scoot up to him. And then you want to get ankles together, and then you want to squeeze. Squeeze as hard as you can, with as much force as you possibly can, until you gas. It doesn't do any good to squeeze by half measures for 2 minutes. Squeeze as hard as you can, and it probably will be somewhere in the realm of 30 to 45 seconds in the beginning. When you gas, switch your ankle position, and then do it again. You notice how I'm bridging. I'm trying to keep him at bay. I'm trying to keep him so he can't strike me, and I'm causing him discomfort. Squeeze, 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 squeeze as hard as you can, and relax. Okay. Now, our next exercise is going to be your scarf hold. And the way I want you to do your scarf hold, if you can pretend, or you can make yourself a fake set of arms. This is just an ordinary pool noodle with a bungee cord on it. And then all you can do, if you want, is slide it up and then make this into a fake arm. And then bungee it together. Like so. Now, to practice your scarf hold, you want to be in a position where your arm is behind his head, nice and tight. Again, you want to put this bone against his arm. This palm is down and this palm is up. You're in position. You're here. Now, your knee should be underneath of this shoulder, and the arm should be against your belly here. And then you should be gripping him with main force, and you should squeeze the bag and then flex the bag. Squeeze that bag with all your might. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Now I want you to get your butt off the floor. Not massively off the floor. It doesn't have to be huge. Just enough to slide a sheet of paper beneath it. Because you want to get your weight onto his chest. And you want to lift his head, and you want to squeeze with all your might. And you want your knee up tight here, and you want to squeeze, 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 squeeze. Now, to get out of this, he's going to try to walk his feet kind of parallel to you, and he's going to try to put his arms around your body and roll you that way. So to counter that, you need to be always cognizant of staying at 90 degrees. So if he begins to walk as you're squeezing, you need to be prepared to walk this way a little bit and then keep him off his game, and you're squeezing with main force. Squeeze until you fail. Again, you don't need this fake arm. It's kind of fun to play with. You can play with your crucifixes and so on. You can work on your various holes. Then I want you to go to the other side and do the same thing. Flex the bag, get your hands underneath, get this underneath, squeeze, 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 always being cognizant of this. And I want maximum squeezing power, squeeze until failure. Your next exercise is going to be a clock, and this is when you practice moving around him in sort of a scramble. So you want your elbows on him to cause him discomfort. And you want your hips low. You don't want to run, you don't want to do your clocks up here. You want your center of gravity low and very little oxygen between the two of you, right? And this is strength and flexibility. So it's toes and elbows only. And you're going to move, and you're going to move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I want you to do 25 of those clocks, okay? Now, the 7th exercise is a shin ride. So I want you to be prepared to do these shin rides. If you're on top in this position, the shin ride is when you pop up and you put the shin right on his lower rib. Come into shin ride position. And this leg, you can't see it, but this leg is stiff, and it's just like the outrigger leg on a catamaran, on a boat. Sticks out to the side in this position. Now, if this doesn't cause him to be humbled somewhat, then you can switch here, practice your balance, and then you go to a hamburger ride, which is knee to the face, okay? And then practice. So that's 1, and that's 2, okay? Etc. 25 of those. Okay, so to recap, 25 sit-outs, 25 bridge and rolls, 25 shrimps, twice to failure of squeezes, twice to failure of bottom scissors. Make sure you switch grips between these exercises. Twice to failure of scarf holds, 25 clocks, and 25 shin rides, switching to hamburger ride between each. Thanks for watching. Take care and God bless.